What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Gotians Games, and it happened, guys. It happened, or it will be happening, and it makes me all kinds of angry. Not angry, but upset, disappointed. Um, if you can see by the by the title of the video, and two, by the news article that's right next to me. SAO Alicization Lycoris. I mean, that you could pronounce it Lycoris. You can pronounce it licorice, whatever. Sexual content will reportedly be reduced due to current times. This article is being brought to us by Angry Gamer. And so this image right here, I believe, is from Fatal Bullet, or it's either Fatal Bullet or Hollow Realization. The Leafa image that's right there. Namco, or Bandai Namco, is set to produce a new Sword Art Online game following up on the success of Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet. The upcoming title is called Sword Art Online Alicization Lycoris, or Lycoris, whatever you want to pronounce. It's basically a flower, just FYI. And if you were hoping for some steamy fan service or sexy time, it doesn't sound like it's going to be present in the JRPG. Now, the fan service bedtimes or whatever, that basically it's a thing in these games that that allows you to have interactions with the characters. Nothing really, bad. It shows the characters in lingerie and stuff like that. So it's nothing really like terrible. Honestly, it's really not. VG charts, which by the way, like, if you go to a mall, if you legit go to a mall, you're going to see worse stuff than this, or you're going to see things or images that are going to show more skin of real women just by walking into a mall and going past a Victoria's Secret. So if that doesn't bother people, why should this? Like, for real. VG Charts picked up the news from an interview that game director Satoru or Satoru Hiraye, I'm so butchering that, and producer Yosuke Futami had with PlayStation Magazine. I'm just gonna try to just read it. They revealed that the sexual content will likely be reduced due to current times. VG Charts paraphrases the interview, writing, "Sexual content will likely be reduced," asked by Dengeki about co-sleeping events, a tradition in the series. The producer said it might be difficult in the current times and that players shouldn't expect too much. They also noted that they censored the way the administrator is depicted in the show. Oh, really? She's typically depicted unclothed, as showcased in the video clip below, which is from the anime. And they went ahead and they're censoring her. That's okay. All right, whatever. I mean, to me, it's not a big deal. I mean, but still, like, why do you have to cater to people who aren't going to buy these games anyways? That's the biggest problem that's out there. According to VG Charts article, the administrator will no longer be naked. VG Charts paraphrased producer who explained she couldn't appear nude due to securing a lower rating. I can understand that, because the SAO games typically have been rated T for teen, so I can understand you don't want to depict her naked. I get that. Okay, that makes sense, because typically, I'm not saying this is true for all games, but typically when a game is M rated, it will sell less than a T rated game. That's the same thing for movies. One of the reasons why Marvel movies go for the PG-13 and not for the R rated. Again, it's not true. It doesn't hold true to everything, but most of the time that is true. A good case in point where it's not true is Resident Evil 2, selling, I think, like almost 4 million units. You have Red Dead Redemption selling astronomical amount of units. Again, both M-rated games, so that's why it's like not necessarily true. It depends on the game, but typically Japanese anime games or JRPGs in general, if they get hit with the M-rated game, they are less likely to sell well. So anyways, let's go down here. Let's see. Futami says that he is aware that people will be surprised by this, but the decision was made in order to avoid the 0D rating in Japan recommended for 17-year-olds and up. He points out that Bandai Namco wouldn't accept an SAO game rated D, which makes sense since every game in the series so far has been rated C or less. Again, which is what I said. So I'm not upset about that, because that, again, you're pushing the boundaries of what's allowed for a specific rating. I get it. That goes back to the point in case where it's like, if it was rated M for mature or D in Japan, to allow something like that, to allow, the administrator to be completely nude in the game, and then to then further censor it up upon that after you've already gotten the rating for mature audiences, and then you're going to censor it, then that's when I have a problem. So if this game was, for example, a M-rated game or D-rated game in Japan, if it was released as that and then they censored the administrator because they were like, oh no, we can't allow this, I would have a problem with that at that point, because you've already given it the M rating. So why go and censor it after you gave it the M rating? That's where, to me, we have problems. So anyways, going further, this was confirmed by the game's official trailer, which revealed that the administrator will appear in a long draping dress as depicted at the beginning of the YouTube clip. Again, I don't have a problem with that if you're going for specifics. So as you can see right there, the administrator is wearing a long dress. I know some people mentioned that in the not the review, but the trailer reaction that I did on this game. As you can see right there, there's another image of her, or will be another image of her. Come on, right there. So she's in a dress. Some people had mentioned that before, and again, I don't have a problem with that as long as the ratings match up. That doesn't bother me. Okay, what bothers me and what will continue to bother me is when you put a specific rating on a game and then you still censor it. So then what's the point of putting the rating if you're still going to censor it? All right, so going down. These kinds of censorship has become par of the course these days, as many organizations and media websites have gone out of the way to encourage and promote the censorship of many anime-style games and Japanese titles. This has culminated in an aggressive policing of creative content by Sony with their PS4 censorship policies, which is a case in point I've made before in prior videos, where they went ahead and they censored certain games that already had a rating for it. So if you are going to then, if it bothers you so much, then you might as well just slap a M rating on the game if it bothers you that much. So that way you're already covered and you don't have to go and censor the game or go back to the developers and be like, hey, no, we can't have none of this. You need to edit these shots in this game so that way, it doesn't offend our sensitive eyes. Case in point, Super Neptunia RPG, which comes out at the end of June. It was supposed to have come out earlier, but it got delayed because Sony was like, no, there's not enough steam in the bathtub, in the bath spring scene. There's not enough steam in there. You need to change that in the hot springs, add more steam, because even though you're not showing anything, it's we see too much skin. We need more steam, which then made the developers of Super Neptunia go back and change 2 scenes and delay the game. So yeah, that's when it becomes a problem. It also doesn't help that Sword Art Online creator has acknowledged that after talking with, this is a problem I have. That after talking with some SJWs at a convention in the West, he decided to make his works more politically correct going forward. I have a problem with this statement, and the only reason why I have a problem with this statement is because that's not exactly what he said in the article, or not in the article, but in the interview. I'm giving a quick rundown of this. Basically, they were talking about how can I put it? They were talking about the reliance on Kirito from the other characters, and that's not exactly what the creator was talking about. what he was saying was that he wants to incorporate the other characters more than he has been in the previous series or the previous seasons. So I don't blame him for wanting to do that, because there's a lot of characters who are very beloved. Asuna, for example, is my favorite character in SAO, and she's basically taken a side seat. Like she's a side character at this point, when that's that hasn't been who she was in the game, or in the anime. For the better part of the first season, Asuna was a main character, and then she got relegated to a side character, and I did not like that, and a lot of people didn't like that. And then the other side characters got relegated to just background characters. So that's what the creator wants, is not specifically to cater towards the social justice warriors, but to have the characters, the other characters, the supporting cast, to have a more dominant presence in the anime moving forward, and which I don't have a problem with. But what I do have a problem with is changing things to cater towards the people who will not be buying these games. Okay, who will not be buying these games. These are the people who don't support what you do. They don't buy your stuff. They don't care about your stuff. They only care that you're showing a little bit of skin and it's offensive. They only care that you're showing Lifa here in lingerie and that's offensive. But you know what? Again, I can go to Victoria's Secret and plaster it all over for everybody to see, for me, my wife, my children to see. Women in lingerie, women in bras and panties, and nothing else. Why doesn't that bother you? Why does this bother you, but that doesn't bother you? Why is it that in Victoria's Secret, if I walk over there, because I'm walking to GameStop and, my wife's like, oh, I want to go into Victoria's Secret. And I'm like, all right, let's go to Victoria's Secret. Let me ask you a question. Why is it that I have to be forced to, I don't know, look at an image of a heftier woman in lingerie or in bra and panties? Not that I have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that. Not at all. But I'm being forced to see something like that. I'm not going to walk around Victoria's Secret with my eyes closed, because then I'm going to bump into people, and that would be even weirder. But that doesn't bother me. This doesn't bother me. So if this bothers you, that should bother you as well. That's what I don't understand. And I know that I just went off on a tangent, but that's a good comparison. That is a fair comparison to make. So if you complain about this, then stores like Victoria's Secret are going to have to go away. As much as I don't want them to, because I like when my wife buys lingerie and dresses, not like Lifa, but wears lingerie in bed for me, because that's, something that we enjoy as human beings. With that, I will catch you all later. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if you guys are new. Again, I know that was a bit of a tangent. I didn't mean to do that, but it just brought the worst out of me, which is typically what these topics do. So I will catch you all in the next video. You guys have a great rest of your day. Stay cool, guys. Stay cool.